Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to the merry month of April. My name is Jude Gibson, and I will be your host for tonight's Books on Stage, brought to you for free, yay, from the Cloverdale Performing Arts Center. Joining me tonight is another children's book author, which is very exciting, and we may or may not have a special guest appearing. I got a new puppy, and she's nibbling on my fingers. So if something catastrophic happens, it's not me, it's not Amy backstage, it's three-legged Frida who's nibbling on my knuckles here. So without further ado, Jeff Kubiak is our guest writer today. Jeff taught for 10 years as an elementary school teacher in grades 4, 5, and 6, and he's taught 8 years of administration experience. He strives to connect with students by bringing them real-world experiences, getting to know them, engaging in lessons and play, and becoming part of the learning process. Jeff has always looked at education from a different lens, as someone who hated and struggled through school. He vows to always do his best to help increase opportunities for all students to feel heard, included, celebrated, challenged, and safe. Without further ado, let's welcome my friend Jeff Kubiak. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you, Jude. Thanks for the kind introduction, and I'm blessed to be here, so appreciate it.
What an interesting set of books here. One of the best parts of this for me is, as I put my big old mug right in the face, is that I get to read everything. So we've got 2 books here. It's Me, and then we have One Drop of Kindness. And what lovely writing and what heartfelt message. I was just taken aback by this. This is a new wave in writing, and I really appreciate it quite tremendously. Why don't you take a second, Jeff, and tell us a little bit about yourself that I haven't already shared?
Yeah, so thank you. I am an author. I'm an educator, and I'm currently a vice principal at a school in Elk Grove, near Sacramento. And I look at myself as an anti-racist educator. I look really closely at making sure we're being inclusive and equitable in our practices. And that's something that has always driven me to strive and to improve upon. I have 2 of my own kids. I'm married actually to a cousin of Amy's, and there's so much going on right now in our world that I am constantly thinking and trying to frame positive messages to help make the world a better place. And I think books are a good way to do that. So
I agree, and I also think we need more people like you, both teachers and otherwise. Why don't you tell me a little bit about? Let's start with It's Me. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the book?
Yeah, so It's Me came from working with students and different educators. They're all real stories, and so they're written by the actual characters in the book. A lot of the names have been changed, but people call it a little bit edgy and dicey, because it does deal with issues that I believe everyone should be talking about anyway. It deals with racism, it deals with LGBTQ, it deals with dyslexia, it deals with anxiety, depression, bulimia. It just, and this is what we see in our schools every single day. And this is what is on the news every single day. And so why can't we talk about it? And, so it's been a really exciting journey for me to share these stories. They're truly powerful and, mind-blowing.
Yeah, absolutely. I was, as I was reading the book, was thinking how wonderful this is going to be for a lot of these marginalized kids, be it, whatever's marginalizing them. And then I got to the end of the book and I thought, well, it's me. Where do I fit in here? And I hit 3 of your categories in there. So I think it's not just designed to hit one niche. It hits multiple things. And
yeah, go ahead.
And to be able to look at that and go, oh, look, it's me, and I made the book 3 times.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. And every time I talk to schools or groups or whatever, and I challenge them and push back. What's your story? You know, where's your it's me story? And because everyone has one, regardless of, if you look at it as, you know, I'm being, you know, prejudiced or biased or marginalized, we all have something, you know, something adverse that's happened. And I find that's truly fascinating that three of these stories you identify with. That's pretty cool.
Yep. And I'm not a little kid.
No.
Yeah, I wish there would have been more things like this when I was growing up. It would have been tremendously helpful, because a lot of the reason I got three didn't start with me as an adult. It started with me as a young kid.
Definitely.
And we have a tendency of keeping that and carrying that into our adult lives, and the best way to get rid of that is to stop it from ever happening in the place, 100%. And diffuse it at the source. Diffuse it at the source. How long did it take you to write It's Me?
The whole process from start to finish. You know, I work with these last two books. I've worked with EduMatch Publishing. Sarah Thomas has been phenomenal. So start to finish, 9 to 12 months. And then you know, it's neat the connections I got too, because a good friend of mine, Melanie Korach, her daughter Brianna Alpeter is the illustrator, and Brianna was actually finishing up high school when she did the illustrations for this book. And so, you know, it's a real kid, and she's making waves. And these illustrations I find are very cool, and the work she's doing. So, you know,
I agree. The illustration, edgy, fits that description as well for the illustrations in here. They're just absolutely fantastic. It's one thing to have the story pull you in and go, oh geez, you know, that's me, or that's my friend, or that's my cousin, or that, you know, you can point to anybody in this book. But I think it helps a lot to have cool illustrations to draw the young kids in, to stop the cycle from the source.
Yes, definitely.
Make better kids to be better adults.
Yes, yes, and we need more.
Absolutely. Did you face any kind of issues or anything writing the book, or was it a straightforward, easy process for you?
Nothing's easy with writing, especially, you know, I don't find myself like a great writer. I just, you know, I try to create messages and use real people, and these stories were written by the characters, and I just kind of help wordsmith them and work on the messaging. But you know, putting it together was a journey, and there was, you know, you got to get permission from parents, and then contact different people and everything. And so, and then spending a lot of time with Brianna, you know, and on FaceTime and everything, to ensure that you know, the pictures come to life the right way. And then you got to talk to the student or the adult. Hey, is this a good likeness for you, and things like that. So it's fun. It takes a lot of time, especially when, you know, you're helping to, you know, you raise a family, you try to work and do things. But yeah, I really have a passion for books. So.
Well, that's pretty interesting that you say that. Does this look like you? I mean, I could tell by reading the book that they were, you know, real people and real struggles, real issues in here, but it didn't occur to me that was actually the real person in the picture as well, and that it was a likeness that tied it all together. That's pretty cool to know. I don't know why I didn't think it would, but it just never occurred to me. So that's very cool. Do you think you could share a couple of them with us?
I would be absolutely honored to.
About.
And I have to start with this first one. And this is Dr. Basil Moran. And Dr. Basil Moran is a very good friend of mine. And he's an educator just doing amazing things. And, you know, as you can tell, he's African-American, and talking about a, you know, marginalized population right now that is just, it's just devastating. And so let me read you Basil's work. It's me. Yes, I am a black male. Does my skin scare you? Do you see me as a threat? If you get to know me, you'll learn that I'm a big teddy bear, and I love music and sports. I oftentimes ponder, will I ever be enough? Why do I have to work twice as hard to be seen and recognized? I do not want to be seen or viewed as a statistic. However, I am part of the 2% of educators who are black men. I'm a part of the 2% of all individuals who hold a doctoral degree. I am human, and I want to use my black skin to make a positive difference in the world. My skin is not a threat. It is a strength. It's me. And that's my buddy, Dr. Basil Marin. And I'd like to just share one more. And this woman absolutely made such a huge impact in my life. One of her teachers connected with me and said, Jeff, I have someone that I'd love for you to meet, and her name is Mia Walsh. And Mia now is a freshman at Ohio University, and Mia is a proud member of the LGBTQI community, and this is her story. Hello, it's me. I'm in your class, and I love to smile. I want to run. I want to play. I'm just like you, but I'm a girl who doesn't like boys. It's not like I chose this. I'm still just a kid. People say I'm weird and call me names, all because of who I like. I love playing guitar and writing for the school paper. Will you be my friend? After all, it's just me. And so like I said, she's studying journalism at Ohio University, and she is absolutely phenomenal. And she was in high school when she wrote this piece.
Well, that's just amazing. And lo and behold, there's 1 out of 3. That's terrific, and that's true. I could relate to that. I was that child when I was a kid as well. So,
well, bravo for you for being able to talk about it now. And I just, I absolutely adore Mia, and both of these two took a lot of courage to come forward, and especially to what's happening right now, in our country with Black youth and Black men, right? So
right, yeah, it's sad and tragic and frightening and terrifying, and I don't understand it.
No.
That's not the way I was woven together. So
yeah,
it's everything that I'm not. Yeah. So unhorsed myself there. Quick question coming into you from Facebook.
Okay.
From Vicky, these issues are what our librarians love to get and protect for their shelves, much needed for the kiddos. Do you have your books in a lot of the schools at this point?
I'm trying, and that's another thing is, I'm an educator, and so I of course reach out to my network. But I think it's critical for these types of books to be in libraries, and so I try to connect with librarians. I think librarians are amazing because they know the books, they know the stories, and they can lead us to the right ones. Like Jude comes in upset or whatever, goes to a librarian and gets to a relationship, and then all of a sudden that librarian's sharing these amazing things and opening up new doors. And school librarians in general are just magicians to me. And so, contact me. Let's get my books in your library, please. That's great. That's a great comment. And yeah, they know the kids and they know the stories to lead the kids too. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, librarians changed my life in elementary school for sure. I became a voracious reader of all kinds of things and test read things for her to see if other kids would like it even. I was so into it. I spent most of my time in the library. So
that's awesome.
Shout out to librarians all over the world. You're absolutely amazing, and books do great things. So speaking of books and kids, what was your favorite book when you were a kid?
I loved Dr. Seuss. I love Roald Dahl. Sweet Beverly Cleary, who is no longer with us. I mean, she was phenomenal, right? I mean, who didn't read her books? And exactly. Those types of things. I did enjoy some of the. I liked Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew growing up. I liked the mysteries, but I wasn't a huge reader growing up, and it wasn't until I actually started teaching that I found a huge love of children's books and really started finding my way through them. And so people like Peter H. Reynolds now. I love his work, and there's so many great authors out there. And but yeah, Beverly Cleary was she was right there for me.
Do you, as an adult, do you have a favorite author now?
My favorite author is an author who challenges me to think differently and to learn new things. I love Simon Sinek's books. I love, there's too many to name. And I read just a little bit. I read the big book by AA. I read the Bible, and I read, other things. I like to read snippets of things that really enlighten me.
As do I. That's cool, especially in fast-paced world that we live in. I try and get in and excuse me, little chunks as often as I can. Sometimes that's all I have time for, but
Yeah.
it does make a difference.
Yeah, my all-time favorite book is The Alchemist. That's by Paulo Coelho. So
here's another one from Karen. How have your books opened opportunities for dialogue in your school and life? I would imagine that it's both challenging and rewarding, and would love to hear more about that.
Thanks, Karen. That's a great question. A lot of these concepts and the content and these characters are things that a lot of people have a hard time with, right? And so when you have a book, books open the world to people, and educators are phenomenal, but so are parents. And to me, we need to get that messaging from parents, because this, things happen in our world. We have Muslim Americans, we have lesbian and gay, we have black and brown boys being mistreated, we have kids in wheelchairs being made fun of. We have so many marginalized communities that it's part of what we see and do every day. So we have to be able to talk about it, and we have to build that empathy, that compassion, and that inclusivity, so that when we see it, we're not, it's not being normalized or whatever, but it's something that if I don't embrace it, that's okay. But I have to at least be accepting and willing to see someone else. And if we don't see people, then that's where, a lot of our problems continue to go. So.
Yeah, without being able to see people, you lose empathy.
Yeah, and the whole I'm colorblind. Well, you better go get a different color lens, because there's too many beautiful colors and beautiful different things out there that everyone needs to be seen, heard, and felt, right? So
absolutely. I could not agree more. Another Facebook comment here from Dee Dee. Thank you, Jeff. My greatest hope is that I'll live long enough to see these young people's visions of a better future come to life. This gives me great hope. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dee Dee. I totally agree. This is my 21st year in education, and I learn so much new information and things every day from those wonderful kiddos. And I see them. They're ready. The kids we are in school with right now, they're ready. They're amazing. They're smart, and they are ready to do it.
Been waiting for this all my life. So It's Me is It's Me your second book? Is this correct?
It is my second book. Yes.
So that takes us to One Drop of Kindness.
Ooh.
Be your first book. I've also read this one as well. I love what you're doing here. I get it. I love what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about One Drop of Kindness, and I love the cover art on this book.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so Lily Mora did this, and I'm sorry, you can probably share your cover a little bit better, but Lily Mora did the art, and it's a story of a Gus, and Gus is a sad orphan boy who his mom passes when he's a baby, and he doesn't know kindness, he doesn't know love, no empathy, right? And so he goes from home to home, school to school, and something kind of enters the school and enters his world that's got a resonating message, and he resolves that it's cool to be kind, and he becomes known as Gus the Kindness Kid, and really changes the world. And it's an easy thing for some, but it's so difficult for others. But the neat thing about those that can embrace kindness is that we can spread it, and it's free, it's easy, and there's infinite ways to do it. So the neat thing too is the book was translated for those Spanish speakers, Una Gota de Bondad. So it is available in Spanish as well. Yeah, it's double awesome. So I'm blessed to work with people like Sarah Thomas of EduMatch, because she brought me that opportunity. So it's pretty cool.
How much time between the two books?
It's Me came out May of 19. I'm sorry, One Drop of Kindness came out May of 19, and we had it translated about 6-7 months later, right around kind of
Terrific.
Christmas time. Yeah.
That's terrific. And I love the ripple effect on the cover art. That's just that's something I could have that framed in on my wall. That's a beautiful piece of art. I totally dig it. Do you think you could read a little bit of One Drop of Kindness for us as well?
I would love to. There's 2 pages I think that will help us understand. I'm sorry for the light. It was an unsettled start for the messy, long-haired, freckled Gus. A few years after he was born, Gus's mother passed away, and he was moved from home to home and school to school, sometimes staying only a day or 2. Many of these places were dilapidated and run down, and at times you could hear nothing but an eerie silence. But a whisper from his loving mother would stay with him always. One drop of kindness is all it takes to fill a heart with love. And so we go through the book, and I know it's getting dark in here, but it goes from black and white, and then all of a sudden, life becomes amazing, and it goes to color. And one thing that I think is really cool is just quickly is they changed the school name to the Kindness Academy because they felt that everyone had embraced the whole movement of kindness and compassion. And they talked about how everyone has the capacity of kindness and should all be kindness ambassadors. This may be just what the world needs, thought Gus, beaming with excitement. One drop of kindness is all it takes to fill a heart with love. And yes, we do all have the capacity of kindness, and we all can be kindness ambassadors. And, it's the little things. It's letting someone in, the car line ahead of you and opening a door and buying someone a coffee and cleaning up some trash and smiling, saying hello, seeing someone, recognizing the gifts that they do bring. And, we could still use a little bit more these days. So embracing it is a huge part of my mission. So
I think that's just absolutely wonderful. The world is ready for some kindness right now, for sure. And you're right. It doesn't take much. Sometimes even just saying hello to somebody can make their day. You never know what the other person might be going through, and just a little bit of kindness on your part can totally shift the dynamic either in their day or their week, or even if it's just for a couple of minutes, it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it makes you feel good too.
Definitely.
So everybody wins. Everybody wins. Got another Facebook comment here. Oh, and a dog. Kindness is what we need, Anna says, especially in these times. Thank you for this book.
Me encanta que lo tienen en español también. Gracias. De nada, mi amiga. I'm not fluent, but I do love the language, and yes, share the message in Spanish with us, my friend, because kindness knows no boundaries or language doesn't. Everyone knows kindness.
Yeah, it doesn't have a race or an ethnicity or legs or anything.
100%. Yeah.
It's just human. It's just
Yes,
it's the base of all things. What about book 3?
Book 3 is so cool. I'm super excited about it. So my lovely 12-year-old boy, Braden, loves to do illustrations, and he's come up with amazing illustrations, and I wrote a book, and his illustrations are going to be digitized and artistically enhanced, and we wrote a book.
Wow.
Yeah, it's about monsters and manners.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I can only imagine it's going to follow along on the same principles as book 1 and book 2.
No doubt. Making the world a better place, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's our job. When do you think book 3 is going to hit the shelves?
Well, I'm working with Amanda Fox at a company called Meta Inc., and we're hoping to have it out by the end of summer before school starts for the next session.
Oh, wow. So coming right up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll maybe come back and chat with us when the 3rd book comes out?
Jude, there's no maybe. If I'm invited, I will be here.
I'm inviting you, my friend. Absolutely. I'm inviting you. I think that would be great. like I said, we need more kids books like these, but we also we need a lot more Jeffs like you too.
Oh, thank
So
you.
ripple effect is that's pretty cool. Where can people find your book if they are so inclined to dash out and start making those purchases?
Thank you. It's Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Goodreads, and then my website, jeffkubiak.com. They can buy a signed copy with some. I have some stickers of Gus and Truly, and the cover of One Drop of Kindness as well. So
that's cool. And I liked in the back of. It's in the back of
yes, the kindness cards.
Yeah, there's kindness cards and resources and explanations of glossary of the terms so that nobody's left out. And it talks about gratitude, and that it's an amazing book. I highly recommend it. It should be on everybody's nightstand for sure, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I appreciate you spending your Friday night with us and chatting about kindness and making the world a better place. This has been just absolutely terrific. Oh, we've got another comment from Karen Lovato. Or I remember when One Drop of Kindness came out, and it was accompanied by a call to be kindness ambassadors. Do you mind sharing more about that and where and how you saw those ripples?
Yeah, so thank you, Karen. A couple of years ago, some students wanted to start a kindness club at my school. And so it was really generated by these 5th grade girls. And it bloomed from 3 girls into the 20s and 30s, and it's followed in several different schools. And so I always challenge students that I work with to be ambassadors of kindness. And you know, to be a student in school right now, it's not easy to always be kind. There's so many different traumas and aces and challenges our students face every single day. But you know, if you're an ambassador of kindness and you're wearing that on your sleeve, not literally, but you find a way to either walk away, to smile, to always step above someone that's struggling. And you know, that's also our opportunity to reach deep and, hey, I can see Jude sad. You know what? I'm going to connect and spend a minute with her because maybe I asked that question that no one else does, right? So, and
especially peer to peer.
Yep.
You know, they're going through the same struggles, which are not going to be adult struggles, but
right.
But understanding and empathy from their own peers that probably totally gets, you know, what the struggle is or the emotional upheaval, whatever it might be, just based on, you know, going to the same school and hanging with the same people and getting the same homework and you know,
that's the truth right there. Yeah.
So looks like we are going to have a randomized.
Trying to get better light. Oh, here we go. Randomized. Oh my gosh.
To what we do is Amy's got this little app that she randomizes all the names of the folks that ask questions, and it spins a little name wheel, and the name that comes up gets one copy of both of the books here. And you and I were talking backstage before, and you were kind enough to offer to send out signed copies.
Yes, of all 3. So the Spanish version, the English version of One Drop of Kindness, and It's Me.
That's awesome because Anna Valverde is tonight's winner of your book. So I am sure she's going to appreciate the fact that those are both in English and Spanish for her. That's wonderful. And Anna, if you send a message to us here on Facebook, it looks like you're watching from Facebook, and get us your address, we will get those books out to you just as quickly as we can get them signed from Jeff and get those in your hand. You're a very lucky woman, Anna. These are really great books.
Very cool.
We definitely need more stuff like this in our lives.
Yay, Anna.
Yay. Jeff, virtual hug to you from
big virtual hug, my friend.
I look forward to meeting you in person. I think you would be somebody cool to go have a cup of coffee and hang out and just shoot the breeze with for a while here.
I feel the same way, and we'll make that happen the next 6 months, my friend.
Absolutely. I've had both my Fauci ouchies, so hopefully I'm cootie free and we'll stay that way for a while. But once the world opens up a little bit, please, let's get together and chat about this and maybe get a little preview of your next book. That would
I'd
be
love it.
most amazing. Thank
Sounds
you.
great.
So, Anna's kids are going crazy. Anna's kids are going crazy here.
Yay!
Yay! Gotta love it when somebody gets so excited, and quite a reason to be excited. These are absolutely tremendous. All 3 books, and I'm speaking for the 3rd one in advance. But if it's anything like the first 2, then you're gonna just hit this out of the park. You're a rock star. So appreciate you spending time with us tonight.
My pleasure. And Anna, write your kids' names on there too, so I can put their names on the books.
Oh, the kids are gonna jump again. I can feel the kids jumping from here. I'm all the way up in Cloverdale. I don't know where Anna's is, but the kids are rocking the house. That's for sure.
Awesome.
CPAC stage is going crazy. Jeff, thank you again so much for being with us. We really appreciate you. And to everybody else, please join us next month, where Books on Stage, we are going to be actually having a pretty heavy conversation. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and next month's author will be yours truly, with a story that I wrote for a magazine called Morbid Curiosity. CPAC will send an email out on this. There will be trigger warnings and disclaimers. Again, this is for Mental Health Month, and being the president of the board, I thought it best to put myself out there with some exposure and give you a brief insight as to what happened in my life and share my story with you, and also put out some resources for people to get some help in the world that we live in right now. With COVID and being sequestered in our homes for so long, depression, suicide, anxiety, all of these things are very serious. They're very rampant. And chances are you know someone who suffers from depression. And if you know me, then you know someone who suffers from depression. So join us next month in May. We'll get those dates out to you very soon. And emails will be coming out, and I will share my story called Grace in Gravity. Thanks for sharing your Friday with me, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Donate to CPAC if you can. Go get Jeff's books on Amazon.com. And remember to just drop one more little bit of kindness and share the love with everybody. Good night, y'all.